Hello, I hope you're having a fabulous week. It's Wednesday, I do believe, and I'm excited. I have a day off from seeing clients, so it's really a day for me to get clear and take care of my body, take care of my mind and my schedule. And today's conversation was sparked from a conversation I had yesterday, and it's just a friendly reminder for me of how important what I have to share about my own story can really help other people. And it looks like I have a plant growing out of my head. I think it's funny. I'm in my office today. So, if you didn't know, when I was a teenager, I started drinking alcohol probably about 15 or 16. Now, I don't remember a lot of my childhood because I don't know why. I've kind of blocked a lot of it out, but I was an angry kid. I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of resistance to the system, resistance to my parents, resistance to authority, resistance to the church, religion. I mean, I really was just a non-compliant teenager. And I get that now because some people that are non-compliant, we're really here to help shift and change things in the world. But we can really be a nuisance and a pain in the ass when we're teenagers. But I'm telling you this not because I think it's funny, but I'm telling you this because I want you to know that there's been a transition, and yoga has helped me with that transition. Because the anger and the rage and all of those things that has came from my soul having multiple lives of repression. You know, women have been repressed for centuries, and not just women, but men as well, because we as a society are repressed and we don't even know it. Let me tell you why. You are fed food, and you might not realize it's not just the food that we're putting in our physical mouth. You have been fed stuff for your mind for so long based on Hollywood and the news and all of this, like, you should live this way. This is the American dream. Like, you should have this house and you should have this material thing and all of these things. Well, let me rewind to me being an angry young lady, because even when I came into the Navy, I was just getting in trouble all the time and I was angry. And the practice of yoga helped me understand that I had to reconnect with, like, my divinity. And you are a divine person as well. You are a divine soul. We are all divine. We are all here to live in peace and harmony. But we're carrying a lot of things from lifetime after lifetime of repression. And in this lifetime, we have chose to be here at this big transformational time. And what we feed ourselves is the most important. So here, what we believe in is true. So if you believe that the world is going to come crashing down and that everything is shit, that is going to be true for you. But if you believe that you are a powerful creator and you can truly have the life that you desire and you put your focus and attention on that, it is true. Now, where does this come into play? Because when I was a young girl and I looked around me and I was like, this is shit. Like, this, I don't want this life. It inspired me enough to leave home, to leave my environment, and to learn about the world. And I got to learn about the world through the Navy. I got to travel to different countries. I got to see that the world is a really cool place. But had I not left home, had I stayed in that small box that I was given through the television and through the small society that I lived in, I would have thought that the world is a dangerous place. I've traveled the world many times around, and what I have come to find out about people and other places and other countries and just all over is that the world, to me, is a wonderful, beautiful, exciting, and magical place filled with love and filled with compassion. But you have been given a narrative. If you watch television very frequently, the 5 o'clock news will tell you how fucked up the world is. The 5 o'clock news will tell you about all the traumatic things and everything to be afraid of. And this, my friend, is what I'm talking about, is that we are what we eat. If you're constantly scrolling through a negative news feed, you become the fearful, negative thinker. And you don't even realize you're being programmed. This is why I come online. This is why I share my life. It has nothing to do with you admiring me. It has nothing to do with you thinking about anything about my life. I'm literally here to hope to share the message that you are a powerful creator. And we have the ability to choose the life that we want. But we can't even realize what we're thinking unless we slow down enough. And that's where the practice of yoga has helped me so much. I'll link a free class below this video in the comments, or unless you're watching this on YouTube, and then it's right below this on YouTube. But we have to slow down and get into our bodies to even be present. We think that we're here. We think that we're present here right now, but really we're living in the past. We're living in traumatic things that happened to us when we were a child, or a traumatic thing that happened to us when we were a teenager or in our 20s. We're holding on because trauma and experience and life and everything is stored in your physical body. That's right. Your physical body and everything that's happened to you is really a product of your beliefs. So our beliefs become our biology. If we think that we are going to be prone to disease, guess what? You're going to be prone to disease. If you think that you're a victim to diabetes because your uncle had it or your father had it, you're going to create that in your body. You are so magnificent and powerful. You've just never been told that. And I'm here to just scratch the surface so you can understand that only when I started practicing yoga did I realize that all of that anger and resentment and rage I had inside of me was from a choice. I was choosing to hold on to it. It was like a shield of armor because I'm a sensitive little person. I'm a sensitive little girl that grew up, and I started racing motocross at 4. I mean, I grew up racing boys and trying to beat boys and trying to not get made fun of on the playground like we all did. We all have traumatic childhoods from being on the playground, being in kindergarten, being in 2nd grade. So no one is exempt from trying to protect your amazing sensitivity to energy, to one another, and to your heart and your feelings. But this shield of armor has created us. It creates disease, it creates distance, it creates separation, not only from others, but it creates separation from who we truly are. And right now, I'm just wanting you to know that you literally have the ability to change your life one thought at a time. And there's nothing that you need to do to accomplish this. You just have to start noticing, what are you thinking of? Lately, I've been working with clients that are working on strength in their body. And guess what? To build strength, we first must become aware of where we are. And that happens through breathing. So if my client wants to get stronger, I first get them to breathe. And that is the foundation of the yoga practice, is breathing. Because if we're taking shallow breaths, we're not really in the body, we're not really in the present moment. And yoga from the foundation is just about breathing and becoming aware. And then you move, yes, that's great. But a lot of us think that yoga is about flexibility, and it's more about the breath and the awareness of being in the body, which brings us into the present moment. Another great question I like to ask my clients is, where is your mind at right now? And there's no judging our minds over here, like, what am I doing next? Where am I going to go and get dinner and all of those things? There is no wrong when your awareness and you're practicing yoga and you're being in your body. The only thing that you're meant to do is to breathe and connect with yourself. So below this video, if you're watching on Facebook, there will be a link to a 20-minute yoga class. This is a great starting point to get to know how to breathe, to get to know how to be in your body. And the conversation that I was having yesterday with a young man at the gym where my other practice is at, the conversation was like, I'm a really passionate and sensitive and emotional person. Yes, we are all passionate and emotional and sensitive, and we're all very powerful, quite honestly. We're all very powerful. But when we are not aware of how we're feeling, we can take that wounded kindergartner, like in myself, or that wounded soul from many lifetimes, just like you've been wounded in many, many lifetimes, and we're here to heal. We can take that and spray it in the wrong direction. And instead of it coming out as purposeful, productive action in making our life better, it can come out as tainted toxicity. Like, that is what I was doing. When I became a chief in the Navy, I was still unhealed. And what I did, instead of helping people that were looking to me for guidance, because I came in the Navy for structure and guidance and discipline, and people gave that to me. But I had failed the people that were working for me at one point in time because I was carrying around so much things, so much emotion and so much stuff that I had repressed down that it was causing me to wreak havoc for others. So if you find yourself feeling guilty or really looking back on some actions and think, you know what, I really am not happy about the way I acted, which is something that I would do all the time before I started practicing yoga. I highly recommend just, starting with the 20 minutes a day, 20-minute class, and you can do the same class over and over each day. And what you'll start to notice is that you will start to see what your mind is doing. Where is your mind at? What are your thoughts telling you? And you can become aware by using your breath. One other perspective I'll share before I end this video. Have you ever been behind a driver? Like, say you're following a Big Mac truck down the highway. And have you been behind a driver and that car is like, wait, here's the tailgate of the Mack truck, and that car is like right here, just following it like on its butt. Clearly, they can't see what's in front of the Mack truck. There could be a line of 10 cars. But if you're right here thinking that truck is your problem and you're trying to push the truck along the highway, you are just creating discontent and stress inside your body and your mind. Whereas if that driver created a lot of, I can't do it in the video screen, but if the driver created a lot of space, and when they were going around the curve, they could see there's 15 cars in front of this truck. It's not the truck's fault. There's a lot of traffic there, and there's a lot of things going on. So I'm just going to cruise. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to put on my favorite artist on the radio. So this is what yoga does for us. It creates space. It creates space between the stimulus, which is something that can frustrate you, and the response, which is how we respond. Whereas for me, when I was angry and had everything locked up, I was reacting. I was reacting in anger. I was reacting in my emotional immaturity. But once we can start to understand and create space, we can start to respond to people, situations, and conflict appropriately. And we are really going to need this, folks, moving forward. There is so much change and transition about to happen, even more than you saw in 2020. We really need to start to become emotionally mature. And I'm speaking to myself when I share this information because it's always a daily practice for me to continue to become emotionally mature so that we can create a better world. It's not the government's responsibility to create a better world for us. It's not our parents' responsibility to apologize to us for anything. They brought us into this world. That's enough. It's not the teacher. It's not the ex-boyfriend or the ex-wife. It's no one's responsibility to make us happy and to make life comfortable for us. No one owes us anything. It is time for us to take control of the power that we were gifted by being human. And the yoga practice is a way for us to connect with our power through creating space and awareness so we can understand what's going on in my energy and how can I shift into a better way of living for me, my life, my family, my community, and the world. I hope this helps. If you've been feeling a little bit reactive instead of responding appropriately, allow yourself to move your body, connect with your breath, and know that everything is going to be okay. You are a powerful creator. What you consume is what you are. So it's no longer about fruits and vegetables. We are beyond that. Like, that is old news. It doesn't matter what you eat if what you're feeding your mind is a load of crap. If you're feeding your mind the mainstream news, if you're paying attention to what your neighbor's doing, if you're worried about what your neighbor down the road is doing, you're wasting your time. Focus on yourself, your energy, get your mind and your life right, and you will change the world. One moment at a time. That's how we do it. And you will inspire those around you, not by telling them what's good for them. You will inspire those around you by being the best version of you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Reach out if you have any questions about what I shared, and if there's any other way that I can help you be the best version of you. Until next time.